Alright guys, welcome back to another one. So today I've got something pretty incredible to share with you dudes in regards to both Recoded and Days, the Nintendo DS Kingdom Hearts games. As we know, for the past few years, there's been a project in development that goes under the name of Melon. This is a custom version of the Melon DS emulator exclusively for Recoded and Days, bringing the experience of both of these games into a single screen and introducing a bunch of quality of life improvements and features. Right now, with its current public build, you can play through these games from start to finish with full-blown control support and new bindings, the single screen experience, integrated HD cinematics from the HD remix versions of the games, and typical Melon DS features like increased native resolution beyond that of 4K. This project is still being worked on. There's an exciting update that will come in the future that imports all of the HD textures from various Kingdom Hearts games into both of these titles, where the games will eventually get to the stage of almost looking like HD remasters. However, there's something else that I've been shown recently that works in tandem with Melon, though not just exclusively Melon. This will also apply to any version of Days and Recoded, even to the point of it being compatible on original Nintendo DS hardware. We're talking about full-blown mod support for both of these games. Kite, who is a friend of mine and a known modder within the Kingdom Hearts community, has been spending a bit of time working on a project known as the Kingdom Hearts DS Project Editor, basically a mod tool to create mods for both of these games. And it's basically an all-in-one program. It contains a bunch of different features like a pixel editor, palette editor, texture editor, UV and background editor, model viewer. It's possible to alter and edit collision data along with modifying level spaces. It also comes with a built-in patcher as well, making modding both Days and Recoded extremely streamlined. This means that people can create mods using the project editor, upload them to a file hosting site like Nexus Mods. People can then download those and install them using the patcher. I think what's impressive about this is this has been developed from the ground up with a little bit of assistance from the OpenKH mod community by Kite himself, and it's incredibly clean and I guess user-friendly as well. For someone like myself that has like no development experience or modding experience of the such, I know how to open up a texture found within either Recoded or Days, edit it only very slightly and very scuffedly, and then re-import it back into the ROM file and see it appear in my version of the game. Of course, if you have actual experience with this type of thing, it means that the potential here is sort of limitless to a certain degree. And to give you an example of what is possible here, Kite has created a Ventus mod for Days. So this literally allows you to play as Ventus with his animations, with his attack animations, his moveset here in Days. This is no joke. I don't think I ever expected to see custom content for the Nintendo DS Kingdom Hearts games, but here we are in 2026 where modding both of these games is absolutely possible. For regular Ventus, Kite used the model that can be found within Days itself, where he appears in Wonderland, and then imported all of his animations from Birth by Sleep. There's also an Armored Ventus version that uses the Birth by Sleep model. So using a tool like Blender, it's possible to import a bunch of Kingdom Hearts animations and models from the other games into both Days and Recoded. This means that if people really want to spend the time, we are looking at fully custom characters for both Days and Recoded. I'm kind of just envisioning it now. Imagine having a lot of the mission mode characters, so like the organization members or Donald and Goofy as playable characters, imported into Recoded. Also, the fact that you can edit and entirely replace levels is an exciting prospect as well. This means totally custom playable spaces for both of these games. It's not just as black and white as that though. This would require a lot of work, but you get the idea. This introduces a world of possibility for the Nintendo DS Kingdom Hearts games, just as we've seen for the other Kingdom Hearts games through them finally coming to PC. The tool also allows you to access both the level table for a character and the weapon table, basically the data for both a character's specific level and certain weapons. This means that you can change both the power and range data for specific weapons and change certain character-specific stats like strength, magic, HP, crit merit bonus. I was asking Kite if it's possible to go in a little bit deeper, being able to edit the different stats for equipment, or perhaps bosses and enemies, or specific panels. He mentioned to me that it's absolutely possible to do this using the explorer of this tool, diving into the game's files and data, though right now with the current build, there currently isn't any implemented feature to edit these specific categories. The reason why I asked about these sort of things is because this would provide possibility of either game rebalancing or total overhauls for both Recoded and Days, and personally that gets me really excited. This would introduce totally new ways to play both of these games, as we've already seen with other Kingdom Hearts games that have overhauls. Kites mentioned that the mod tool will continue to be worked on, with new features being implemented over time. He recently added a means of being able to edit the different 2D sprites, so the heads-up display head for the character you're currently playing as, you can change that. As we can see, we've got a custom Ventus one here. He's also implemented a way of editing and changing the particle effects in the game, so for any of the Keyblade hit effects, these can be changed. He also plans on implementing a way to change material animations, so for things like limit breaks or Keyblade trails. But as of right now, the mod tool is off to an incredibly good start. This just provides so much potential for both of these games, especially if we're looking in the direction of Days. I feel like the community is incredibly passionate about 358. I've got no doubt that this will end up being the game that people will mod the absolute most. The mod tool is public and is free to use by anyone and everyone. It is available over on Kite's Discord server, so I'll leave the link to that in the description down below. There, both Kite and the mods of that server will be able to help if you've got any questions about using this mod, if you want to start modding both Days and Recoded. The help section of the tool also clearly breaks down each of the features and how to use these. I've really got to provide some thick and juicy kudos towards Kite. This man is literally just tirelessly working away in the background, day in, day out, creating custom stuff for Kingdom Hearts, like all of the games, whether it's mods or entirely new tools built from the ground up. It is insane work. And literally the only reason why the DS mod tool here even exists is because Kite is currently going through a side quest to bring Ventus into every single Kingdom Hearts game and make him playable. There wasn't any efficient means of doing this for the DS Kingdom Hearts game, so he said, F it, I'm just gonna make my very own mod tool for these games, and then that way not only can I create what I need to create, but also anybody else that has an interest in modding Days and Recoded can do exactly that. Literally introducing a breath of new life potential to both of these titles. I think it will be some time before we start to see a good amount of mods flourish for both of these games. However, just to know that the possibility is there and the process has become a little bit more streamlined for both of these games is fantastic. In due time, we should have a nice helping of custom content for Days and Recoded. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Be sure to slippity slap that like button. It helps me out more than you know, and subscribe to keep up with everything going on here. Massive shout out to my supporters on both Patreon and via YouTube members. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll chat again real soon.